Welcome back to my YouTube channel at Honest Scholars, where we promote academic integrity, where we encourage that scholarship and education will be left in the hands of those who desire to produce original and authentic knowledge. Today I'll be discussing with you a very fascinating topic which centers around the use of technology. And my specific interest is in the use of ChatGPT, a tool that helps students in many respects. It helps you as a researcher, as a student, as a scholar to generate ideas. It brainstorms with you. It holds conversation with you around your topic, around proposed research questions, around your hypothesis, around your outcome, expected outcomes, and a host of other things around your research. This tool also generates ideas, tips, and how you can structure your work. Remember, it also helps you it helps to reinforce your capacity in producing that desired outcome. It also creates charts for you, graphs for you, it creates data for you, generates data, and analyzes the same data with you. So these are advantages and functions that ChatGPT provides. However, it also comes with its own adverse consequences, especially if we don't use it properly, if we don't comply with the law, if we don't comply with the provisions and expectations of academic integrity team within our various institutions. And these provisions are there to guide us so that we do not abuse and misuse and over-rely on this technology to the point that it takes over our brain space or our mental space, our thinking space. That's not. So what is ChatGPT? What are the mechanisms? How does it work? What are the dynamics of the relationship you have to build with it, and how should you use it? Don't forget, we said that this machine has come to stay. Technology has become part of our daily life, and there is no sector or industry in our life now you want to think about in the new world order that you will not need technology, and you don't want to lag behind. So we cannot throw it away. We cannot throw the ChatGPT away or any of the related technologies away. So the bottom line is we have to be properly guided. We have to understand what we're doing. We have to comply with the law. We have to comply with the provisions of the academic demands of the various faculties and universities that we are in. So that is the understanding, that is the idea. So what kind of relationship do you build with it? How do you use this technology? And that is the most important thing we must concentrate on now. To use this technology, you have to sign up. And if you already have an existing account, you log in. So when you're signing up or when you are logging in, there are different versions out there. And you have the 3.5, you have the 3.0, you have the 4.0, you have the 4.0 mini model. So each of these models have their different features and unique features. Don't forget, the 3.0 and the 3.5 are the basic feature and the basic model, while the 4.0 and the 4.0 mini model are the premium version of the ChatGPT. So regardless of which one you want to use, you will have to create an account, and the 4.0 and the 4.0 mini have advanced features that the basic ones don't have. So you want to decide which one to use. So after signing in, you are face to face with the chat box. So what kind of relationship, what are the dynamics of your relationship with the model? You have a 4-layer relationship, and each of these layers is very, very crucial, and you cannot skip one and go to the other. So the first layer is the layer of you doing the background check, you knowing exactly what you want to do. What is your research idea? And that comes from an understanding of what the existing literature is talking about. And that in turn depends on how much of the literature you have consulted and you have read and analyzed. This responsibility, this first layer, lies solely on you as a student. It doesn't lie on the machine, it doesn't lie on the technology, it doesn't lie on anyone or anything else. It lies solely on you. you must decide what you want to do. And that comes from an understanding of what ideas you have built up, what theories you have read about, what philosophies you have read about, and how that guide your understanding of what you want to ask the technology to do in that regard. So you don't want to outsource this responsibility. You don't want to give the responsibility to the technology. You have to take responsibility of understanding what you want to do. And that is the first stage. That is the first layer of your relationship with the technology. Second layer has to be the layer of you prompting the machine, putting the details that you want the machine to do expansion on. You've done your background check at this level. Now it is time to ask the machine or the technology to expand or give you ideas, or to brainstorm with you, or to hold a conversation with you. And at this point, you have to go specific. Do not be generic. Do not be general with your question. Assume that you are speaking to a 2-year-old boy or child. So in that instance, you want to be as detailed as possible. You want to be as specific as possible. You do not want to be ambiguous. You don't want to be equivocal in your questions. And that leads me to how you can begin to look at going specific. One of the ways is to look for keywords. And there are many keyword generators out there that you can use. So just Google online and look for keyword generators. That means you understand the topic you want to do, you understand what you want to do exactly, and that will prompt your kind of keyword you want to generate. For example, you are generating, your topic is the influence of populist parties on UK government, or the influence of populist parties on voters' attitude in the UK or in the US, wherever. You have to look up for the keywords. You have to look up for populism. You have to look up for populist parties. You have to look up for voters' attitude. And these are keywords you have to look up in with the keyword generators, and all of this will pop up. So that will be what you want to input in the chat box. So when you input this in the chat box and you frame the question in such a way that it synergizes the various keywords and the various key phrases or the key sentences, then it tells the technology, it tells the machine exactly what you want it to do. So that is the second layer, the layer of prompting, sending your prompts. So when you are sending your prompts to the machine, you expect the machine to produce certain responses based on what it has been programmed to do. And that is why you cannot leave the whole brainstorming thing to the machine alone. You have to do your background check. After doing your background check, ensure that you are specific as much as possible when you are sending your prompt to the technology. Now the third layer is the layer of getting feedback from the machine. Usually and most times, this machine will give you, ChatGPT will always give you probably a couple of options, response options, and you are asked to choose from it. It lies on you to know exactly which of the responses that the machine gives to you aligns with your idea, aligns with your study. You cannot pick, copy and paste directly from the machine. You have to study what the machine gives to you. Okay, does this align? Does it not align? So at that level, take up the responses. Probably you copy it, paste it in your Microsoft Word page and begin to look at it. If it aligns, if it does not align, ensure that you are specific. I keep reiterating that. Ensure you are specific so that the responses that you get will also be specific. And the last layer, which is the most important and the most critical layer after the first layer, is the layer of analysis. At this point now, you have your responses with you. At this point now, the machine, ChatGPT, has generated responses, loads of responses for you. The onus lies on you to begin to do analysis. And unfortunately, this is the layer that many students abandon. This is the layer many students leave unattended because they assume that the machine knows, or the responses from the machine are sufficient for them to just pick up and move on. The responses can be wrong, the responses can be inaccurate, the responses can be historically wrong, can be philosophically wrong, can be conceptually wrong. In many respects, the responses from the machine can be wrong. And that is why you have to, at this stage, to do analysis. Sometimes it gives you an offer that does not exist, or the machine will attach a title of a work to an author that is not the owner of the work. For example, Why Nations Fail. ChatGPT can assign Why Nations Fail that is written by Asemoglu and assign it to somebody else. So that is why it is important you check, you do your analysis properly. That is why you have to appraise and assess the results that you get, the responses that the machine has given to you. Otherwise, it's going to blow up in your faces that this does not exist, and that is a signal to plagiarized content. That's a signal to AI generated content, because that author does not exist, or the title of the work assigned to author A is not the owner of that work. Yes, the title exists, but the machine has given the title to a different author. Sometimes the year of publication is wrong. So you have to understand these things and do your analysis properly when you get these responses from ChatGPT. Do not copy and just insert into your work. Do analysis. Again, you also have to look at the grammar, the structure. I tell you what, if you ask ChatGPT a question and it comes with a response, you have sent your prompt, it comes with a response. If you controvert that response and you say, no, I think this is wrong, ChatGPT will apologize to you and say, I'm sorry, and it will give you another response. It tells you the limited capacity, the limited knowledge of the machine you are using. So do not rely on this technology solely that you abandon and outsource and shirk your responsibility as a student, as a researcher to the technology. Ensure that you do proper analysis, ensure that you do appraisal and assessment of what comes, of the responses that come from the technology. It is very, very important. I hope you find this video very helpful. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow all our social media handles at Honest Scholars. And I'll see you next time.